Hey everyone, Mike Zagari here. And have you ever wondered what the full impact is of your ad spend on the bottom line of your business? Today we're going to be talking about TACOS, which in my opinion is one of the most important metrics that every Amazon seller must know. This metric will give you a much better representation of how every single dollar spent on Amazon advertising is impacting the bottom line of your business. So make sure to watch till the very end because we introduced a very new term called TACOS Supreme, which really looks at the overall picture of Amazon advertising and how that spend really impacts your business. And make sure you subscribe to this channel, click on the little notification bell because we come up with weekly videos to help you grow your business using Amazon advertising. I'll see you on the inside. So what is TACOS on Amazon? In my opinion, TACOS is an incredibly important term to really nail down because it really looks at the impact that your advertising ad spend has on your total business. So little backstory, back in 2016, I was super aggressive with my advertising and I noticed that the more aggressive I was, the more organic sales that I got. And I started showing up for all of these different search terms because I was being aggressive. So TACOS, which is true ACOS or total ACOS, takes into account not only the revenue coming from your ad spend, but also the organic sales as well. So it gives you a very full picture. So little example here, I'm looking on Amazon for a grill brush and you can see that there's pay to play at the very top. We have sponsored brand ads, we have sponsored product ads, and then we have all of these organic listings. Now, if I were to be super aggressive targeting grill brush, yes, there's lots of competition and yes, my ACOS might be very high. But if I start showing up in these premium locations, I will then get a lot of organic sales and then that will reduce my total ACOS or my TACOS. So let's go back into it. What's the difference between ACOS and TACOS? Here's an example here. Advertising cost of sales equals spend divided by ad sales times 100. So we have a 45% ACOS over here. But then if I look at the total ACOS or the TACOS, I can see that the total revenue was $40,994. So if I take that ad spend and divide it by the total revenue, multiply it by 100, the TACOS is 5.73. So that means my ad spend margin impact or my true ACOS is much lower. And this is much more sustainable. And if I were to just look at this 45%, I might actually turn this off because I'm thinking I'm losing money. But if I look at the overall margin impact from that ad spend, it's very low and very sustainable. So here are a couple of key terms. Obviously, everyone knows ACOS. You just got introduced to TACOS. I also want to introduce you to the term ad spend margin impact, which is synonymous with TACOS. So ad spend margin impact is the percentage that your ad spend is taking away from your profitability or your overall margins. So check this out. If my TACOS is 5.73, that also means that my ad spend margin impact is 5.73. The advertising spend on my overall account is impacting my margins by 5.73%. Next, we have the organic sales versus PPC sales. And we also call this the organic to PPC sales ratio. And we want this to be somewhere around 70-30 or 80-20. And what this means is the majority of our sales are coming through organic sales and not through PPC, which is going to help to drive down your TACOS or ad spend margin impact. So what is a good TACOS on Amazon? Now, this really depends on the profitability of the product that you're selling. Let's say that you have a product that has really slim margins. Obviously, your TACOS has to be much lower to accommodate for those slim margins. If you have a product that is really great in terms of profitability and has very high margins, then your TACOS can be a little bit higher, maybe around 15 or 20%. I wouldn't go much higher than 20%. Otherwise, it's really going to be eating into the bottom line of your profitability. But typically we see sellers at between 6 and 10% TACOS. Now, keep in mind that this totally depends on the life cycle of the product. If you're just getting started, you're probably going to be spending a lot more on ad spend. This could be more like 25%, 30%. But as you start to get that flywheel, you're going to start to get more organic sales. And those organic sales are going to factor in to the calculation of your TACOS. And then eventually we want to get to somewhere between 6 and 10%. Now, just keep in mind, this is also synonymous with ad spend margin impact. So this means that your margins of your products are being impacted by 6 to 10%. And that leaves a lot more room to grow because I would say if you can stick to between 6 and 10%, you want to scale this as much as possible. This is just the cost of doing business. All right, can my TACOS be too low? And the answer to that question is 100% yes. I have gone into accounts and seen a TACOS of 2 or 3%, and they're not taking advantage of all of the opportunities that Amazon has for advertising. They're not taking advantage of sponsored display ads, sponsored brand ads. They have maybe a couple of campaigns set up. They may have an overall low ACOS, resulting in a very low TACOS, but they're underutilizing all of the tools that they have for advertising, which could be costing them money in the long run. So I would caution, if you're less than 6%, to look into your advertising to see if you're really taking advantage of everything. So another question we see is, my organic sales are good, should I stop advertising? And my answer to this typically is no. Now, unless you're stocking out of an item and you just want to sell out and you want to make as much profit as possible, then maybe it's a good idea to stop advertising. But typically, if you stop your advertising, then that's going to stop the flywheel effect. And as we talked about before, when I was super aggressive with my advertising, we got a lot of organic sales from the result of that advertising spend. And this is the same case today. So you're going to show up in other locations. You're going to show up potentially in better spots on Amazon. So the advertising does help you get that flywheel effect. So what is TACOS Supreme? Now, I completely just made this up because TACOS is a great thing to look at, but what other impacts does your ad spend have on the bottom line of your business? There are numerous other impacts that dollar spent on Amazon advertising has towards your profitability and growing your business. And let's look into it. So if you're spending money on advertising, these are the fringe benefits of that ad spend. First off, what is the lifetime value of the customer acquired? Shoppers could be coming in and purchasing your products over and over and over again, or they could be purchasing other products in your product line. Now, if you're not acquiring that customer through advertising, what are you giving up? How much money are you losing out in the future? So this is part of TACOS Supreme, the fringe benefits of spending money on Amazon, not just looking at the ACOS, not just looking at the tacos, but looking at the full picture. Next, we have new to brand and list building. So if I'm spending money on advertising, I'm also introducing my products to new audiences, and I'm building my list. If I ever want to go sell my business, the bigger the list, the better. Next, we have improved conversion rate possible. So think of it this way. If I'm spending money on advertising and I'm swarming the page with all of my ads, I'm swarming my product detail page, there's less chances that people are going to leave my page. So this could potentially improve my conversion rate because people are more likely to purchase my product than to bounce. Next, we have returning customer rate. So if you go into your brand analytics, you're going to see that a percentage of your sales are returning customers. Obviously, consumables are going to have a higher returning customer rate, but that ad spend could potentially bring customers back over and over and over again. And you can see that with the returning customer rate. So next, we have the cost per 1,000 impressions, or brand awareness. So think of it this way. With most of the advertising on Amazon, you're paying per click, but you also are getting the impressions. You're also getting the brand awareness. So this is having a big impact on your business because people are seeing your brand, and they may purchase your product 14 days from now, 2 months from now, 3 months from now, because they saw you through those impressions. So this is part of TACOS Supreme because it's the fringe benefits of advertising on Amazon. Last but not least is the benefit of acquiring a customer and getting that customer data. So now with Amazon with sponsored display, you can actually retarget customers once they actually see your product, they click on your listing, we can then retarget them. So if we use advertising to get people onto our listing and they don't buy, we can use that information to retarget them. If you're using DSP, you can also start to create lists, and the benefits go on and on. So I hope that you found this video helpful. It is our mission to help sellers grow their brand and to start to strategically think about ways to expand their business. TACOS is just one evolution in that, and TACOS Supreme is the next step. Amazon's getting much more sophisticated. They're giving us many more tools to use. How we use them to our advantage and how we measure that is going to be critically important in 2021. So I will see everyone next week. Once again, make sure you subscribe to our channel. Every little like, every little comment really helps to get this in front of more sellers just like yourself. Have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you soon.